Welcome to the ADHD Women's Wellbeing Podcast. I'm Kate Moore-Youssef, your host, and if you've arrived here, there must be a reason. I'm guessing you're curious to learn more about improving your wellbeing alongside ADHD, or maybe looking for some advice or guidance to feel healthier and calmer. So, why start this podcast? I'm a wellbeing and lifestyle coach, EFT practitioner, mum to 4 kids, and I discovered my own ADHD alongside one of my daughters at the age of 40. And now, after supporting many other women just like me, and probably you, I feel there's a need for more emphasis on wellbeing and lifestyle help for women with ADHD. And through the podcast, I want to offer you new insights and perspectives to enable you to live your most fulfilled, calm and balanced life. So wherever you are on your ADHD journey, my aim is to support you in finding the awareness and the most aligned tools to enhance your well-being so you can make the most intentional mindset and lifestyle choices moving forwards. Ready to get started? Here's the episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ADHD Women's Wellbeing Podcast. I'm Kate Moore-Youssef, your host, and today I have something a little bit different for you. Now, I know that historically I've always brought you guest podcasts, but actually as we're winding down for Christmas, I've got some new projects on the go, and I wanted to share with you a short snippet from a workshop that I did all about overwhelm. And the reason why I'm bringing this to you is because I know that although the Christmas period can feel lovely and festive and exciting for many people, those of us with ADHD do find this time of year quite overwhelming. There's expectations, there's obligations, there's change of routine, there's children at home, there's lack of structure because we're not working, there's lots more housework, there's family visits, there's people staying with us. All these different things can really derail us and cause our emotional regulation to feel quite challenged. And I know with ADHD, emotional regulation for many of us who write to me, who I work with, and for myself, can be one of the hardest parts to deal with, especially as adults. To have an adult tantrum or to feel up and down the whole time is not what adults are meant to be. It's meant to be, children that can throw themselves on the floor, but us adults have to maintain this air of control. However, I want to be able to help many of you with this. And the reason why I have created this short snippet is because I want to tell you about my new private podcast that I've just launched today. It's a private podcast, it's an audio series, whatever you want to call it, and it's called Calmer Days. Now, you can get this on my website on adhdwomenswellbeing.co.uk. It's on the show notes. And it's a private podcast that you do pay for, but I've made it as affordable as possible. It's about 3 hours worth of my best tools, my mindset shifts, the best practical options to really hone in on emotional regulation and to help us feel calmer every single day. These are sustainable changes, small tweaks, lifestyle shifts to really help us every single day to feel the calmer version of ourselves, to access more inner peace, to feel this more relaxed way of life. Many people have the privilege of experiencing, but many of us with ADHD don't. So I want to be able to build your emotional resilience. I want you to be able to know that there are options out there that we can lean into. And yes, you may be doing some of them, but sometimes we need other people just to bring in a little bit of an extra idea, a perspective shift. So that's what I hope Calmer Days will be about for you, that you'll be able to listen on the go, wherever you are, really kind of use those episodes, none of them are longer than about 20 minutes, to remind you to offer a pause, a daily tweak, a mindset shift towards recognizing that we do have tools and resources at our disposal. And to also offer you an opportunity to kind of recognize where you want to be more honest and truthful, and to give yourself permission to have time out and pauses, that it is okay, that maybe our tendencies for perfectionism and people pleasing and overcommitting and saying yes are not where we want to be going towards 2023. Maybe we are able to listen to ourselves and offer more compassion, more acceptance, less self-judgment and self-criticism, more forgiveness. So I hope that with Calmer Days, this will offer you the wisdom and the reminders that you do have the resources and the skills and the tools to access to help you feel calmer on a daily basis. So please do check out Calmer Days. And here is today's snippet, just to remind you that it's okay to feel overwhelmed and to remind you to notice where it's coming from and to help you break it down so we don't spiral and we're able to come back into our bodies. And I have given you some tapping exercises to do in this short excerpt. So if you aren't sure what the tapping points are, please just head to my website and you'll see lots of videos and you can tap along. And I'm going to put in the show notes the video option to today's podcast. So you can tap along with me on the video as well. So good luck. I really hope you find Calmer Days helpful and bring in Calmer Days for you. And here is today's podcast episode. There's a lot of headspace involved, mental headspace, exhaustion, energy that's taken up, having to think about things, having to worry about logistics, especially as women. We are the head of sometimes organising, unfortunately this sort of generational way of women showing up in family is still there. I know that very much workloads are shared a lot more. But I'm still seeing it from a societal level and also sort of quite personally with my clients and myself, that as women with ADHD, we are still holding fort in the family and organising things. And when it comes to holidays, and especially now with travel, feeling so out of control, that flights being cancelled and COVID sort of knocking about here and there, it can feel really disempowering because we are worrying about lots of different logistics and what ifs. And when we don't trust ourselves and our brains, it can weigh very heavily. It can weigh a lot on, constantly checking and rechecking. And when we are working and we are running families and we are trying to manage our ADHD and juggle our ADHD alongside where we are making effort with making sure we're eating right and drinking and sleeping and getting exercise and meditating and all the things I often turn around that say when we manage ADHD from a lifestyle perspective, sometimes it can feel like a full-time job as well. And that's just an acknowledgement. And I often feel it, as well, just to feel calm and centered and grounded. There's a lot that is involved. And so just acknowledging and recognizing that life can feel pretty tiring when our routine goes a little bit all over the place, when our kids are breaking up from school, when we're planning holidays, when we don't know where we're staying, all this uncertainty comes up. Airports being busier than usual and not knowing if our luggage is going to arrive in time. And I just wanted to pass this on, that it's okay to have some anxiety and it's okay to have some fear and worries. And it's okay for it to be all consuming and for you to be ruminating and overthinking about it. And so what I would definitely suggest is I just did some tapping with a client and it was very effective, where we literally just acknowledged what was going on. And I'm just going to do a very quick sort of acknowledgement tapping EFT exercise because I really believe that it can just help release some of the stuff and allow you to see what it is, what that exact kind of acute anxiety, that acute worry is for you, and be able to pinpoint it, but also be able to see it head on without it being this kind of convoluted worry where we're worried about perhaps missing something, we're not filling in a document, maybe we haven't got a passport, maybe we haven't packed the right things, maybe we've got kids with lots of different needs and we've got to think about their needs as well. There's so much on our shoulders and there's so much that we have to think about that sometimes it's just internalized into a big, huge worry and mess in our heads, and we don't quite know what that acute thing is that is really weighing us down. So we can just go straight onto the hand. And if this is something that you're kind of resonating with a lot at the moment, I just want you to just tap on this hand, and I just want you to just take a nice deep breath in, close your eyes, and take a long breath out. And just take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. And I don't want to put words in your mouth here, because with EFT tapping, it's very important that you do use your own words. But I just want you to maybe do a few minutes of tapping where you are coming around to the tapping point. And this is where we start. And I just want you to acknowledge and just say, acknowledge this is what's going on for me. And whether it's overwhelm, whether it's fear, anxiety, worry, and this is how I'm feeling. And that's okay. I accept that this is what I'm feeling right now. And it feels a lot. And I'm just going to use the word overwhelm, because that's typically when we're trying to cram everything in, we're running out of time and things feel too much. And there's so much to think about, that this general feeling of overwhelm can kick in. And you just say, I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's so much to do, so much to think about. And I'm not sure where to begin. And what happens if I don't get it all done? Maybe I'm going to miss something. Maybe I'm going to make a mistake. Maybe I'm going to do something or forget to do something that has an impact. And this doesn't have to relate to children. This doesn't have to relate to travel. I just want you to have a little think about perhaps maybe what is overwhelming you. Because sometimes when we pinpoint the thing that's overwhelming us and really get down to that nitty gritty, and I want you to just think, as we're tapping, the tapping always releases and helps us gain a bit more perspective. And I want you to just pinpoint one thing right now that's coming to your mind. It could be anything. Big, small, insignificant, global, something really tiny. And I just want to say, this is the thing that's overwhelming me right now. And now I understand why I'm feeling like I am. And also, I want you to just kind of pinpoint what it is that you're feeling right now. Is there tension? Is there pressure? What is it on a number from a 0 to a 10? This overwhelm. And I'm just going to give you an example. All this overwhelm in my chest. This pressure in my chest. I'm not getting it all done. Running out of time. Always doing. My to-do list never running out. And what happens if I miss something and I make a mistake? There's so much to think about. And I can feel myself getting exhausted. What happens if I burn out before holiday? What happens if I burn out on holiday? What happens if I'm too exhausted to have a good time on holiday? This is another thing. Very often we keep going, push, all the time, pushing. And then we get to where we're meant to get to, that we've built up, and we've worked really hard to get there, and we've got nothing left to give. And yes, it's good to be able to switch off and wind down on holiday, but we want to be able to enjoy and have fun and relax. So I just want you to just acknowledge where you are right now. Just allow this exercise for you to ground you into your body. Acknowledge where you are, what's happening, where you are on the scale. And I just want you to say, this is how I'm feeling. And I accept this is how I'm feeling. And say, all this pressure in my chest, it's there. Maybe it's moving. Maybe it's changing. Maybe it's moving up and down your body, changing shape, colour. And just recognising. And then I just want you to just keep noticing what's coming up. Perhaps you've got to a point now, just from this tapping alone. This tapping alone has just allowed you to acknowledge what's gone on. And you've had a release from that. And maybe you've come up with a plan. You've come up with a resource, a tool, a new perspective. Maybe you've had a shift where things aren't as bad as you think they are. You just needed a bit of time, just this time to tap and be like, actually, no, I've got this. It's okay. Everything is under control. And even if it's not under control, I accept that that's where I am. Or perhaps you need to do a little bit more digging. Where's this overwhelm coming from? What am I not doing for myself? Where do I need to ask for help? Where do I need to delegate? Where do I need to say no to more? What have I said yes to that I shouldn't have said yes to? How can I nourish myself more? What do I need to write down? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to hand some responsibility over? I just want you to just have this opportunity. The tapping alone just allows us to have this opportunity to move through our thoughts, our feelings, just gain a bit of perspective, but also a release in our body. Just keep noticing what's going on in your body. I just want you to take a nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Just another deep breath in. Long breath out. A long breath out. I just want you to stop tapping. I just want you to put your hand on your heart and the other hand on your stomach. I just want you to just kind of come back into your body and just see what you're being told. Allow that inner guidance, that wisdom to come through with some of the questions that you've asked yourself, and write down. This might be really practical. This might be spiritual. This might be something that you've been hearing a while, but you've not really been ready to listen to. So allow that to move forwards, and so you can get to the next place. And remember, this is all empowering. This is all about self-leadership, because this is all coming from you. You're recognizing, you're seeing what's going on, you're recognizing the blocks, and you are coming back to a place where you have the resources and the tools, because it's always within us, but sometimes we need a bit of space. So I really hope that's been helpful. Let me know how you get on in the comments. If you need any further assistance, help, carrying on moving. I mean, I'm fully aware this is only sort of, 10, 15 minutes, but I want you to have a drink. Make sure you are hydrating when you tap. Carry on tapping if you've not quite got there. Keep going around those points, checking back into your body, checking into the number, checking into the sensation in your chest, wherever you are feeling that pressure, and allow that guidance to come through. So that's today's episode done. Did what we talk about resonate with you? I really hope you found some takeaways that may inspire you to make some small changes that enhance your daily life. And if you did find this episode insightful, please do consider sharing it. Knowledge and awareness is power, especially with ADHD. You can also head over to the show's Instagram page, which is ADHD Women's Wellbeing Pod, and join the community that's waiting for you there. And if this episode really did strike a chord, please do consider leaving us a review to enable more people who need to hear these conversations find the show. Thanks so much for joining me today, and see you next time.